Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday again already, and I'm so excited. We're here to do our 5th episode of NFPT Live, me and Erin. I'll show our name here. So today we're going to talk about, I put a little teaser out there for this one. We're talking about a habit that really can bog down fitness professionals because we're so active and busy and driven and ambitious. And so Erin and I decided we really want to talk this week because we've been talking all about those things, mentoring and going to fitness conventions. And if you didn't catch our other episodes, you can scroll down and check those out on the NFPT Facebook page. But we've been talking about all these high achiever things, if you will. And so we were like, let's backtrack a little and talk about self-care, which is super important because if you don't sleep or rest, then you can't be active. And so we're going to dive right in. If you're with us today, I want to know, what do you do for self-care? So what are your self-care habits? So let's start off with ours. Erin, what do you do for self-care? I'm excited to find out.
Yeah. Some days it's easier than other days, but yeah, I think there's a lot of different things that I do. I'm an avid reader, so sometimes when I just have had a ton of deadlines for writing, or I've got a lot of assignments to grade and I've just been grading, I'll just take 15 minutes and just read something for enjoyment. Not even something exercise science related or continuing education related. It's just something that is maybe mindless, or maybe it's something about self-care, or it's just a fun mystery book or a trashy novel or something like that. Just something to get your mind off of the work piece. I think that's so hard because, like you said, we spend so much time being busy and we're driven and we've got a lot of demands on our plates. We have to learn to balance between if we're a writer and an educator, or maybe we're a coach and a trainer, or maybe we're a single parent with 2 or 3 kids and we're still working professionally. That's a big drain on your time, and we often tend to put everybody else's needs before our own. And so I think one of the things I really try to be mindful of all the time is I have needs too. It doesn't have to mean that they come first or even somewhere in the middle, but just so long that I'm tending to my own needs and I just give myself that time to decompress, I think is really important. So reading is one thing that I do. Meditation is another, even if it's for 5 minutes. I love my Apple Watch because it always gives me a little reminder to breathe throughout the day. Oh, yeah. And it's like it'll give me a little tap. It's time to breathe. And so that gives me a nice break from what I've been doing. And I tend to, when I have something to do, I tend to go all in, and I'm not just a starter. I'm a starter and a finisher. So I want to get it done. And that sometimes I think is one of my weaknesses because I tend to plow through and not give myself that break that I need. And then I notice that my brain starts to go to mush. And so another thing that I do is I'll just go on a quick walk with Olivia. She loves to be outside. She loves to explore. So even if it's just a quick 10 minutes outside around the block, if the weather's cooperating, do it. You find out that when you come back, I'm like, oh, my focus is back. I feel refreshed. I burned a few calories, So those are just a few things that I do to try to manage the stress. And I process through writing. So whether I journal or I write something down, it's just something that helps me process whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah. I love how you said it. Simple, just taking a short walk or a quick breather, like even just closing your eyes. When I was personal training 6 to 8 people a day, when I would go to the bathroom to pee, sometimes even just closing my eyes while I was peeing, I was like,
it's a break. I'm alone.
Better afterwards. Yeah, because it eliminates one part of that stimulation. And these days, I'm like you, I'm at the computer a lot writing, so I'm with you. It's so easy to just stay glued to your seat or keep doing what you're doing, but taking that walk around the block, sometimes it unsticks you. It makes you feel refreshed. And I find that I get some of the best ideas for writing or for my business when I'm out on a hike or out on a walk. And movement is certainly key. But even, closing your eyes, laying on the floor and closing your eyes for a few minutes. And so since NFPT is mostly personal trainers, they're busy all day with sessions and it's back to back. And that's why I think it's great I'm trying to think back to when I was training a lot, I would sit on the toilet and close my eyes for a minute. sometimes if I had like a half hour, I'd actually go out to my car and put my seat back and just close my eyes and even like put a shirt over my face and just close out all the light. And if anyone walked by, they probably thought I was really strange, but I would go back and feel amazing because unfortunately for me, I can't really have coffee or it makes my stomach upset. So I would just go, and I found that actually refreshed me more than having caffeine. And so that worked really well for me when I was busy with clients all day. And now for self-care, I feel like there's two kinds of self-care. There's like the intermittent all day long self-care, kind of like, in between work, you're doing these little things to take care of yourself. Because I read recently that stress is not bad as long as you bring it, like when you get stressed, you bring it down. Like it goes up, you bring it down. It goes up, you bring it down. It's when you let stress stay up at you let it stay up here all day that it's a problem. But if it comes up and then you bring it down with like some breathing, and then it goes up and then you take a walk and then it goes down, that's going to leave you better. And then I feel like there's those bigger self-care activities, like before bed, sometimes I'll massage my feet, or I'll go get a massage, or take a hot bath or something. So yeah. So if you're watching, tell us, what do you do for self-care? Do you have micro self-care? Do you have macro self-care? And let's talk a little bit about why it's so important. Why is this self-care thing such a hot topic, do you think?
Well, one is, you can't pour from an empty cup. So when you're busy working with people all day long, and our business is nothing but people, that's what it's about. You tend to focus on everyone else and not yourself. And then you find that your quality of work is going to suffer, your commitment's going to suffer, your motivation is going to suffer. It's kind of like that wellness wheel, there's so many dimensions of wellness. And when one of those areas gets just a little bit off, it affects the other areas, even if those areas were previously in balance. So I think that's one of the reasons it's a hot topic, is because we have to be able to produce. And that's what our industry is about, is getting results. And you can't get results if you're not willing to be able to work on yourself and take care of yourself. You're just not any help to anyone else. It's kind of like put on your own oxygen mask before you assist your neighbor, kind of a thing. Yeah. And I love Hannah's point. Hi, Hannah. Good to see you. Thank you for being with us. Hannah says that she makes sure to get a quality night's sleep every night and take a slow morning to read and sip tea. I love that. Every morning I start off with a cup of hot tea before I even go to my workout. But that's such a great point, is because lack of sleep is one of the biggest sources of stress. And it affects the metabolism, it affects your mood, it affects everything. And so if you're not committed to quality sleep, or maybe you're not willing to boost your sleep fitness, or you don't maybe have those tools to help you do that, that's then just going to bleed into other areas of your life.
True. Yeah. Hannah, what do you read in the morning? I'm curious if you're still hanging with us. I'm just curious what you read. I have a really hard time reading. I have a hard time sitting down and reading, so I'm always looking for ideas. I like podcasts. April also said, I'm going to start doing lunch yoga. That sounds great. Where are you going to do that, April? Are you going to go somewhere in walking distance from you're in Indianapolis, so where are you going to go? I'm curious. And hi, Maury. Maury says, that's what's up.
I like it.
That's what's up. Hi, Maury. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, I agree with you. You've got to put on your own oxygen mask. And I always say that, and I feel silly because it's like, yeah, but it's so true. Like, how can you've got to practice what you preach as a trainer. You've got to be healthy and fit and eat right, but you also have to have enough energy to go around. And I'm seeing more and more introverted type personal trainers enter the industry, where they're, they love helping people, but takes a lot of energy to be with people all day. So they might actually be more naturally inclined to doing that self-care. And then us extroverted people, which I kind of think I'm both, but
yeah, I feel like I'm a hybrid too.
We just go. And I wonder more and more when I read, I think that we are all some type of a hybrid of both, but
and it's situational.
April says she's going to go do yoga down the street. So blessed to have sunshine yoga within walking distance.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yoga. Yeah, that's great. The hardest thing is just how are you going to make sure you do that, April? I'm curious about that too.
The accountability piece.
Yeah. How do you, because that's the thing. So like, how do you remember, Erin, to take those breaks? Because it sounds like you have a really good routine during the day.
You know, I actually will set a timer. So I set a progress timer for 35 minutes. So like yesterday, for example, was a full work day for me because I'm teaching for 4 different schools in the fall. And so now is my time to build those core shells. And that takes a long time because essentially you're planning for the entire semester all up front. Whereas if it's a face-to-face, I would do lesson planning, weekly and kind of progress from there. And that's not so much the case always with online. And so I had to have a full day where I did that, but then I also had articles that I needed to submit and get done. So I just set a timer on my phone for every 35 minutes. And then when that timer goes off, I get up, I take a walk, even if it's just around my house, or I go and put in laundry, or I walk outside, or, I grab a glass of ice water and just think for a minute about nothing work related, just processing and kind of shutting out that white noise. And so I will do that throughout the day, is just set that timer for 35 minutes. And it really helps because I know myself well enough to know that if I'm working, I will just work. I'm like a machine. I get in there and it's like, oh, I've got to get this done. And it doesn't all need to be done right now up front. And I find that when I do take those breaks and then I come back, I've generated so many more ideas that I didn't even really know were in my head at the time. So I just use a timer, and whatever little reminders that you can do. I mean, that's my accountability method is I set a timer and I know that I've got 35 minutes to stay focused. And that's even probably a little bit lengthy of a time for some people. I mean, if their attention span isn't necessarily like that, 35 minutes can be a long time. So even if it's a 25-minute window where you sit and you work for a while and then you get up and just walk, or I stretch, or I mean, even there's pop sugar videos that are 5 minutes, and you can take a 5-minute break and get a little activity and just come back refreshed. I mean, I feel good, but I like to move too. So
yeah, that's great. I think, I found that so hard when I transitioned from being a trainer to being more working from my computer. I would get up from working and I couldn't stand up. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, oh, I'm stuck. So it took me a while because I'm like you, I'll just get going and keep cruising. And I'm thinking so much about our personal trainers out there, how nice it is for them that they've got 45 minutes or an hour, and then you've got that quick break. And I know that if I could have gone back in my career, I would have definitely scheduled 10 minutes between each session. Like back then it seemed like, oh, I want to get done with my day faster. Like I want to get them in and get done with my day faster. But I think scheduling that 5 or 10 minutes, because a lot of my clients, they're also high functioning go-getter people, and they get in there and they're like, let's go. We want to train now. So if you're a new trainer or you've got freedom around your schedule, I recommend scheduling 5 minutes. It can make such a difference from one client to the next in between sessions. And I see we've got some more comments here, so let's interact. I'm excited. We've got a crowd today. He says she does a slow walk through the local park. It reawakens the body, mind, and spirit. It helps to drop my shoulders and breath. Oh, that's great. When do you do that, Dee Dee? Do you do it in the morning? Do you do it at night? Because I love it. If you're gonna have a busy day, sometimes just time for one of those. And Hannah says that what she reads is blogs, a daily devotional, or adventurous books by Wild by Cheryl Strayed. Ooh, that is a good one. Those are good. Very fun. Thanks for sharing that, Hannah. And April says, I'm just tired of being tired. My body hurts so bad because I sit all day on the computer. I need to take care of me in order to be pleasant on the phone to our wonderful trainers. So April's one of our customer service, and she's helping out trainers all day. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Tired of being tired.
And April's comment reminds me of this YouTube video that I just actually integrated within one of my classes. And the speaker talks about how, the chronic issues that we experience, whether it's body aches or constantly tired or something like that, is really less about, the healthy eating and the constant exercise or the consistency in exercise, but it's also that very dynamic piece of self-care and making sure that you're in alignment, mind, body, and spirit. And so that's one thing that I think is so important about self-care is it's not just about the movement. It's about trying to align all of those pieces of what it means to be human to bring down that stress a little bit throughout the day, because there's no possible way, try as we might, we will never eradicate stress. We just won't. It's just part of this life. It's part of this journey, but we can do things to combat it, or at least like Bev, you were saying earlier on, to bring that down. You know, it raises and we bring it down. It's like breathing in and breathing out. It's rhythmic throughout the day. And some days it's a little bit more high stress than others. But at the same time, that's one of the pieces of it is bringing that back into alignment and making sure that you're connected versus frenzied.
Yeah, frenzied. Yeah, that reminds me of the blog you.
Yeah, the frenzied trainer.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
We posted that today. I actually need to pull that up and put that in the comments here. So Erin wrote this fun blog about don't be that personal trainer. Don't be one of these personal trainer types. And I think I can throw these in the comments. Let me see. Comment. Hopefully it'll go in there. If not, you can check out our blog after and there they are. So I posted 2 blogs for those of you that are looking for some more self-care tips, one that I wrote last year. And then Erin wrote this one about don't be that personal trainer type. And maybe you're like, oh, I don't need self-care, or I'm taking care of myself. I think if you read through this blog, not only will you have a good laugh because she talks about the frenzied, the insecure, the competitor, the dictator, and like, you know, you might just recognize yourself in one of those. I was reading them and I was like, I have a touch of a couple of those, but yeah, check that out if you're looking for some more encouragement towards this topic. So yeah, I love what you said. Like, don't be that girl, that frenzied person running around.
Life is chaotic enough. We don't need to create our own chaos. I mean, we're asked to live in chaos every day, and fortunately or unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. And I think you can take the negative route and be frustrated by it, or you can take the positive route and take it as a challenge. Like, okay, how can I navigate this successfully so that I'm not sacrificing pieces of myself anymore, or my work is not suffering, or my relationships with people aren't suffering, or my relationships with my clients aren't suffering? And like you said, we're around people all day long. I mean, for me, it's dealing with students mostly right now. But yeah, people are draining, because as a trainer or a teacher, you're not just their trainer. You're not just their teacher. If you develop that rapport in those relationships, then you kind of become a confidant, which is great. And that's something that you want to strive to do. But at the same time, then you worry more about their fitness. It's beyond that. It's like their personal problems, their emotional problems. Like, you're going to hear it all. And so that's another reason that you need to help maintain your own balance, because it can be hard to separate your energy from somebody else's.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard not to take that on. And I know when I was teaching at the massage therapy school, we talked a lot about the massage therapist doing something to clear their energy between sessions, because they're definitely even more connected to the mind and body concepts. And so in between sessions, some of them would do like a few Tai Chi moves or yoga pose, or they had like a ritual basically between sessions, because when people are getting massaged too, that energy does transfer. And it's not something that we talk about a lot in the fitness industry, but it's definitely coming up more and more, I've noticed. And I did want to mention too, when I was at the IDEA convention, I heard a couple of the presenters talking about self-care. You know, people are looking for success. They're looking to earn more money. They're looking to get more clients. And a few of the presenters were like, hey, you need to like hold up a second and take better care of yourself, because you're so busy running around and exercising and doing all these things, and you've lost touch with who you are and what you enjoy. Like, it may even just be a matter of like calling a family member in the morning to reconnect, or calling a friend to reconnect. Like, that can be incredibly helpful for self-care, to just have those relationships outside of your clients and outside of your work. And self-care is going to be different for everybody. I feel like it really just comes down to your values, and it comes down to what's important to you. And self-care is really, I feel like, a sneaky way of saying like, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. Like
joy, seek joy for sure. Because not every situation we find ourselves in is going to produce joy. Unfortunately, that's just the case. Whether it's a difficult person that you work with or work for, or, something like that, it's a challenge, it's a new challenge. It's not always going to be this like rainbows and unicorns and everything is sunshiny. And so you have to make an effort to seek that joy. And life is short. We get one shot. So maybe it's time we prioritize something that really comes down to helping us enjoy that life, that chance that we have. And it can be the smallest thing. And like you said, everybody's self-care needs are different because everybody's needs are different. Everybody's personality is different. So it's finding that joy in not maybe every single moment of every day, but daily. Find, practicing gratitude. That's another way to have self-care, is especially if you're in a high stress and it's high energy and really dynamic situations. Take some time to just reflect and say, okay, I'm really grateful for, and list 2 or 3 things. And that's a great way to start and end your day too.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we come to the end here, I'm going to just ask everybody, what can you do to add some self-care into your routine? Let's put that up for that question. And I think we're coming to our time here. I don't have anything else to add on this for now, aside from check out these couple blogs that are in the comments if you're looking for some more support there. And tell us, what are you going to do to add self-care into your routine? Share it with us. Make yourself accountable by telling us. April told us that she's going to start attending yoga, and it sounds like Dee Dee's already doing a great job, and Hannah, you're doing such an awesome job. So those of you that have been watching, I'd love to hear what you might do. Oh, Billy says, I like to take a 10-minute walk for every hour I sit at my desk. Perfect.
Great strategy. Yep.
Yeah. So as we close out, what are we going to talk about next week? Should we dive into that? We were talking about the line between being professional and authentic. Do you want to do that next week? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
I don't remember if we were emailing about it or what, but we were talking about like, there's this whole thing of be professional, but then there's also this whole thing of be yourself, like show your tattoos and your piercings and whatever. And I think that there's definitely, there's a validity for both. So I'd like to dive into that. I think that'd be kind of fun to dissect and hear what you think about it.
Yeah, let's do it. I like it.
So if you're here, you can subscribe to our Facebook Lives. You can like our Facebook page, NFPT, National Federation of Professional Trainers. We're a personal training certification company, and we love helping trainers get on their feet, get their business going, and be successful and help people. And we're here on Wednesdays at 11:30 Mountain Time, which my husband so kindly told me that it's Mountain Daylight Time in the summer, and it's Mountain Standard Time in the winter.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
I did not know that either. And I was like, apparently nobody knew because nobody told us. But he's like, you could just call it Mountain Time if you want to be like.
That's funny. Yeah,
I know. So technicalities, you learn something new every day. So anyway, 11:30 Mountain Time, and that would be 1:30 Eastern Time. And I guess that's the more, general way to say it. So thanks, honey, for that tip. So it was fun to see you today, Erin, and
looking forward
to seeing you next week. Bye, everybody.
Yep. Bye. Thanks for joining.